Solve each equation by using the square root property or completing the square. So recall that the square root property, you need something square on one side and then a constant on the other side. So our problem is not set up like that. So we need to set it up like that. Something square on one side and a constant on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of this to the right hand side so I can get rid of this negative x squared. So I want my leading coefficient for my trinomial to be positive. So I'm going to add x squared, subtract 5. So add x squared, subtract 5. And then on the left-hand side, I'm going to end up with 0. On the right-hand side, I'm going to end up with x squared plus 2x minus 5 equal to 0. So I'm going to write my equation in standard form. So recall standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Now my goal is to get something squared on one side and a constant on the other side. So I'm going to take this constant and I'm going to move it to the right-hand side. So I'm going to add 5 and then add 5. When I rewrite my equation, I'm going to write it as x squared plus 2x. I'm going to give myself some space, and that's going to equal to 5. Now what I need here is I need something in this spot that if I factor it, I'm going to end up with something square. So I need a perfect square trinomial here on this side. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the coefficient for the middle term, which is 2. I'm going to divide it by 2, and that's going to give me 1. And then I'm going to take that 1 and I'm going to square it, and that's going to give me a positive 1. So I need to add 1 to the left-hand side. Now, because this is an equation, you can't just add to one side. We have to add to both sides. So I'm going to add 1 to the left-hand side, but I'm also going to add 1 to the right-hand side so I can maintain the equality of my equation. Now, on the right-hand side, I'm going to get 6. On the left-hand side, I'm going to have to factor it. So I'm going to factor using the X puzzle. I want two numbers that add up to 1 and multiply to, two numbers that add up to 2 and multiply to 1. So you can see that I can use a 1 and a 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. 1 times 1 is equal to 1. And that's my goal, because if these two numbers are the same, that means I have x plus 1 times x plus 1, which I can write as x plus 1 square. And that's my goal. Recall that I want something square on one side and a constant on the other side. So this is called completing the square. We want to complete the square. We want a perfect square trinomial on one side so that we can set it up and use the square root property to solve. So now that it looks like what I want, I can take the square root of both sides, and I get x plus 1 is equal to plus minus the square root of 6. And recall, I want to solve for x, so I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, and I get x is equal to negative 1 plus minus the square root of 6. And that's my answer.